tonight, the new search for remains in the killing of a 19-year-old Milwaukee woman. Prosecutors have charged Maxwell Anderson with homicide, mutilation, and arson in the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson. She was last seen on a date with Anderson April 1st. On April 2nd, someone found a severed leg in Cudahy's Warnemont Park. Prosecutors say DNA evidence shows that it is Robinson's. Remains found in other areas have not yet officially been linked to Robinson.
Accused of scattering her body parts across Milwaukee County. The search party spent most of Saturday looking here in Warnemont Park. People we spoke to say they came out to help search to try to bring peace to Robinson's family.
When 19-year-old Sade Robinson didn't show up for her shift at Wisconsin Pizza Restaurant on April 2nd, her coworkers immediately suspected something was wrong. The evening before, Sade had planned a first date with 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson at a local seafood restaurant. Sade was known to be a vibrant, extroverted person who was very outgoing and would talk to everybody. She was always there to lighten the mood, so it wasn't a surprise when Sade shared her excitement for her date with one of the workers in her building. When it came time for her date, Sade texted Maxwell and then headed out the door to meet him at a seafood restaurant where he used to work, and Sade was never seen or heard from again. The next day, when she did not show up for work, everyone was alarmed because not showing up for work wasn't like her at all. Her manager reported that everyone kind of knew something was up because they had been calling her all day and Sade was not responding. Sade was only 1 month away from finishing her associate's degree in criminal justice and was looking at joining the Air Force after graduation. She comes from a long line of military vets, so she was considering keeping the traditions going. Sade was not the type to just disappear or not respond to her family and friends. Later that night, one of Sade's friends called the police and told them that Sade had not returned her calls all day or shown up for work that day. So police visited her apartment for a welfare check but did not find her there. The restaurant closed for 3 days while everyone searched for Sade. Meanwhile, authorities started making grisly discoveries. The morning after her date with Maxwell, Sade's vehicle was discovered on fire. The interior portion of her 2020 Civic had been completely damaged by the fire. Despite the damage, authorities were able to identify the outfit Sade had been wearing the night of her date, as well as part of her iPhone inside of the burned car. Later that same day, police were called to the scene of another gruesome discovery. A leg was found on the beach in Warnemont Park. An examination determined the leg belonged to a Black woman approximately 5 feet tall. It was subsequently identified as Sade's. On April 6th, as police canvassed the area where Sade's car had been found, they identified more remains. After these critical pieces started being discovered, Sade's mom and friend used a location-sharing app to confirm her movements the night of her date. The app showed Sade's phone traveling from the seafood restaurant to a nearby sports bar, then to Maxwell's home, and then to the park where her remains were subsequently discovered. When authorities went to Maxwell's home, they found blood on the stairwell as well as on a comforter. They also found several gasoline containers. On Friday, April 12th, Wisconsin authorities charged Maxwell Anderson with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of property other than a building. He faces life in prison if convicted on the homicide charge. Despite having their suspect in custody, police are still actively searching for the rest of Sade's remains.